It's pretty crazy to think it's been over 20 years since The Core came out. The Core, released in 2003, is a film about traveling to the center of the Earth in order to jumpstart the core of the planet. While the science in the movie is certainly far fetched and often unrealistic, it really doesn't matter for a movie like this. It's the type of movie where the viewer can forget about many of the inaccuracies around the science and really have an enjoyable experience, I think. In sum, The Core is a fun, action packed movie with a terrific group of actors and actresses, as well as a story that keeps the viewer engaged. To me, the story is unique in that we don't see many movies around traveling beneath our feet. We see many going up into space, but very few around going underneath us. Once again, the core centers around a group of scientists that have to travel to the center of the Earth in order to jumpstart the core. In the movie, the core of planet Earth has stalled or stopped spinning. Essentially, without the core spinning, the protective electromagnetic field surrounding the Earth will disappear, thus allowing solar radiation to bake the planet. Early on in the film, we see the effects beginning to take place. First, with small electromagnetic experiences and pacemakers stopping. Then we start to see catastrophic lightning storms. In the beginning of the movie, one of the core problems, no pun intended, is discovered by lead actor Aaron Eckhart, who plays Dr. Josh Keyes. We are introduced to the central challenge in the film, how to actually get to the core. At least 2,000 miles below our feet, the center of the Earth is a place no one has even came close to reaching. The furthest we've gone is 7 miles, and that was with a drill. It's actually astonishing when you think about it, and how little we know of what's beneath our feet. This all raises the question in the movie, how are they actually going to get there? Enter Dr. Brazelton and his legendary ship he calls Virgil. The ship is essentially indestructible, being surrounded by some sort of unknown material that Dr. Brazelton calls unobtainium. In addition, the unobtainium responds to pressure by growing stronger. It can protect the crew from the intense heat as well. The ship Virgil shoots out a laser beam capable of pretty much vaporizing anything and creating a hole for the Virgil to travel through. Still, the crew faces numerous challenges in the movie since they don't know what's in the mantle of the Earth. One good scene in the movie in particular is when the crew encounters diamonds around the size of houses, and Major Childs, played by Hilary Swank, is forced to weave through them. One of the hulls of the ship is damaged, and the crew is forced to jettison the damaged hull, even with Surge inside. I thought Hilary Swank did terrific in her role in this movie, and probably was one of the better actors in the film. Speaking of all the actors, though, I thought all of them did excellent. One of my big issues in this movie is when the group sees the black space, which is essentially just air. Virgil, the ship that can essentially go through anything and handle 1,000,000 square pounds per inch of pressure, can't fly. So it's a little bit surprising to me that in planning this trip, not one person thought to themselves, hey, when we enter when we go into the core, we might run into a massive cave somewhere. This really should have been something that they expected, and thus should have been able to equip the ship Virgil with, so that if they essentially needed to fly, they could fly. In general, I thought it was very tough to believe not one of the scientists would have brought up this question, especially since we know there's so many massive caves underneath us around the world. Overall, though, still, The Core, it's a fun adventure film, one with unique challenges, good chemistry between the actors, and a pretty good ending. And of course, as mentioned earlier, it's still very watchable today and also enjoyable. You can't say that about a lot of movies. But did you enjoy The Core? Let me know in the comments. Thanks.